You're listening or watching the 702 Gaming Podcast, episode number 29.
Oh,
It's been a while and we got all the guys together finally.
yeah,
Jason, Josh, how are you guys doing?
Excellent.
I think pretty good, man. We're happy to be back. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I haven't seen all three of us on in so long. I had to completely change the way the graphics were set for this record. So yeah, it's good to be busy though.
Yeah.
So, what have you guys been up to in the gaming world? How about you, Jason? What you got?
So I finally, like I'm sure a lot of people are saying, I finally got my Steam Deck. And I'm like,
Yes.
yes. I am first off, it felt like the Atari Lynx or Game Gear size. But I'm very, very impressed with this technology here. It's definitely what I was hoping for and a little bit more. Of course, the first thing I did immediately was try to break it. Right. So yeah, I see yours. Try to break it right away. Um, I like that as a computer guy, you feel pretty confident in being able to fix it if you did something that you shouldn't have. I immediately started installing old retro games and playing that, before
Nice.
anything else. But super, super impressed with it. In playing this and finally really jumped into the VR version of Resident Evil 4.
How's
That
that?
that's nice, man. That's nice. Like it's such a different experience when a game is built from the ground up for VR, as opposed to ported over. Like super awesome experience. And real quick too on the Steam Deck, something that if you don't have, make your life a lot easier. Get yourself one of these little Bluetooth keyboards in case
Uh-huh.
there's anything that you need to do on the desktop side on your Steam Deck, you're going to want this. And this cost me $7, and it's got a little mouse
Oh,
trackpad here. In case you're gonna need a mouse and all the other keys and all the stuff that you need. But yeah, absolutely imperative that you get one of those, especially if you are a tinkerer. So you're gonna want it.
that's
But
pretty
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Does it Bluetooths to the Steam Deck?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
a
I
cool,
have
what a cool
noticed
idea.
that. Yeah, that typing stuff in can be a little cumbersome because it's
Mhm.
either you use the touch or the D-pad
Yeah.
or whatever, and it's
Yep.
yeah, not that
So
great.
it's definitely one of the smarter buys. And again, the Steam Deck has a desktop mode as well as the Steam interface. So if you
Right.
want to go to that desktop mode and do any kind of installation of any other software, you're gonna want to get one of those so that you're not pulling your mustache hair out. I don't know if other people do that, but might be a nervous
You
tick
have
of mine.
you haven't like cracked it yet or nothing. You're not gonna crack it and
Yeah, I
like
opened it already. I opened it
yeah.
and I put this puppy in there for additional speed and
Oh wow.
storage space of the hard drive. And I mean it's definitely, like I said, it's one heck of a piece of equipment, especially for the price point. And at this
Yeah.
point, I think just get your hands on one and don't worry about, I gotta have the anti-glare screen. Who cares, right? Like
Yeah.
the besides that hard drive I put in, your little memory card slot here. I had 128 gig lying around that had some nonsense on it. Threw that in there also. Like everything, just it works.
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty impressed with it.
Yeah. Do you have plans to like jailbreak it at any point? Is that happens with some handheld?
You know, so like the Switch, I was gonna do that for a while.
Right.
All right, and what they did is they try to lock it so that if you jailbreak it and do whatever it is you want to do with that breakage,
Mhm.
the next update that comes out, it will make it can make it inoperable, or
Oh,
whatever you have done to it, that won't work anymore. So um, I still might do that to that because realistically, I don't play it that much.
right.
And just in the time I've had this, I've played this more than I've played the Switch, and I've had the Switch for years.
Same
Excellent.
here.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
Yep.
How do you guys feel about I mean, I didn't get one. I didn't sign up for it. Pretty jealous right now, to be honest.
I was
I mean,
hoping.
I could have, this Switch is okay, but it just doesn't have the catalog, that the Steam Deck is gonna, eventually offer. I mean, give that thing 2 years and just gonna blow the Switch out of the water with
Yeah.
just, I mean, pure game,
with the library.
quality and the library of games that it's got, which is unfortunate. But I see how like quite wide, right? And then how do you guys feel about playing on it? It's not,
What'd you
it's
say?
not yeah, exactly. No, I'm sure that's nice because you have a great screen,
Yeah.
right? What is it? How big is the screen on that
7
one?
inches.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
And then but like, I don't like playing the Switch with the Switch. I like it on its TV docking station.
Oh,
To
really?
be honest, yeah, I'm not. I
Oh.
don't mind when I go play when I'm games. I tend to like, prefer it on the docking station and then have the Pro controller per se.
Well,
So-
I would say it is very wide and it's pretty heavy, and
It's heavy.
you just have to get into compared to just a controller.
Yeah,
It ain't too heavy,
doesn't-
man.
yeah.
Jason doesn't even notice the weight
Yeah,
difference,
I
but-
threw it through the
yeah.
ceiling once. I don't know what are you talking about.
Our little scrawny wrists are going numb after
Yeah.
10 minutes of
Like-
gaming.
Yeah.
He's just getting veined out.
Yeah, I was just saying. Veined out. That's horrible sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, you just have to find a comfortable playing position, I think.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
noticed I laid in bed a couple times and I was on my back and I'm like got the thing above me. That works, but after a while your hands start to kind of go numb because your hands are up in the air for like 2 hours. So
Would
I was
you
like, that's
do you
not
have
as
any footage
comfortable.
of you in bed?
That's on the other YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's the live feed.
All right.
That's the live feed
Ah,
camera. Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
His,
No,
his
but you're right,
OnlyFans.
like-
I get it.
I do find that with the handhelds,
No
with, like,
subscribers.
the Switch, and you gotta fight your position for too long. It's great to travel. Like if I was sitting in the airport, I was kind of mad I didn't have. When I was sitting in our Airbnb, everybody's winding down and we're not go on vacation anymore. I was like, this would be pretty awesome to play 1 or 2 games that I enjoy. I know it doesn't have the full catalog as PC or Steam account does quite yet, but I venture it wouldn't take long, and there's gonna be a lot more than not.
Yeah,
Mhm.
what's interesting, just you saying that with the library, is this is the only system, not handheld, specifically, system in general, that upon its initial release date had thousands of games available.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's never happened before.
Yeah,
right?
and it wasn't like a cross-generational thing where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we just dumbed down this game for the Steam Deck
Nope.
to be able to
Right.
play it.
Nope.
Yeah.
I've never encountered that before. So with that, I think that's even more incentive for, to me, game developers, not game developers, system developers like Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft, it should be anyway, to have them think about, hey, we've got this new system and all of your other games are playable, right? We've all been wanting that. But what they've been doing is every once in a while give you a couple, here's a collection of these old games you played a while ago. I literally have everything from 1999, April of 1999, when I joined Steam. I have all of that available right now,
That's cool.
you know?
Yeah, I love
So
that.
that's like, it's hard to argue against getting one. And this is not necessarily one of those, if I can get my hands on it thing, right? When I got the email, which I was waiting for, and the pop-up on Steam, hey, it's ready, I went ahead and paid, and I had it to my house in 4 days,
Yeah, that's nice.
right? Whereas people still right now are like, man, you got a PlayStation 5. So,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, like,
Yeah.
that's something to think about.
Released 2 years ago, and
Right.
they're still impossible to find.
Right. So,
Yeah.
just the catalog alone, and how long has the Switch been out? 4 years, 5 years, something like that,
Mhm.
if not longer.
Re-released.
Right. So with that amount of time it's been out, again, it doesn't have anywhere close to as many games as this had as soon as it made it to my house. So Yeah, and they also made this so user friendly, in my opinion, where, yeah, I do need more space. Just throw that one micro card you have in there. You only have a 16 gig? Throw it in there. Oh, you got 16 gigs more space. Instead of
Right, I
it's
did
got
the
to be
same
this
thing.
exactly proprietary one that's sold by these people or it won't work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't know. They knocked it out the park with that.
Yeah,
I'm
I did
very
that
impressed.
same thing, and I'm really impressed with how it runs games, and it's very impressive, especially since it's not on a 65-inch TV.
Hmm.
Like we've talked about before, it doesn't have to be 4K, so you can run a game.
Yeah.
So, like for example, I'm playing right now, Horizon Zero Dawn, the first Horizon game, um, because it's the first time I don't have a PlayStation. I haven't been able to find PlayStation 5. Um, this is the first time I've been able to play that series because they released it on Steam, and I'm just having a blast with it.
Hmm.
And it is a beautiful game, and you could tell it's a beefy game.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
I'm running it with a lower resolution because that's what the resolution of the screen is,
Mhm.
and it's running fantastic.
Well,
Yeah.
with that too, as you know, a video engineer, right? So I get this when I'm looking at the specs initially and then hearing people's complaints before it even reached your house. Everyone had their opinion on how it's going to suck because of the screen.
Hmm.
You know, the reality is at 1280 by 720 in 7 inches of real estate, that game is going to look phenomenal. If you
Yeah.
take 1280 by 720, which is 720p for everyone out there, if you put that on a 65-inch screen, that's not going to look so good.
Well, not in
Okay.
comparison to what we have now. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
Okay.
some of
As
us
a
were
kid,
really happy with that a
But
while
I know
ago.
a while, but you know what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah, I
Because
know. Yeah,
but
right,
now
right.
the other part of that is if you have something on that same 65-inch screen that's running at UHD, so that's 3840 by 2160, or at Cinema 4K, which is 4096 by 2160. If you have that on a 65, looks great. If you put that on a 7-inch, still looks great, but you can't tell the difference because the screen is smaller.
Yeah,
mhm.
You know
good
what I'm
point.
saying? So it's I don't know. It was one of the smarter ideas that I've seen in gaming in a long time. Long time. Yeah,
Love
It's
that.
impressive.
I'm telling you, it's. I mean, and I promise everyone that's listening, we're not sponsored by Steam, right? Valve has not at me to tell me what to say, right? Uh, but when something's good, it's good, and
Yeah,
they
it's just
they
good.
really knocked it out the park with that. So even the trackpads, I was worried about that. I was not sure how the trackpads were going to feel.
And the trackpads are pretty dope.
They are like,
I like them.
yeah, the right one, which is like a gyro. You know, the feel on it's very tactical, like or tactile. It just everything works. It does what they set out to do. And now that it's been out for a bit, we're starting to do more with it. You know, like you put it into the
So,
hands of people, and now we're like, ooh,
so zero complaints.
I have
Zero
zero
complaints.
complaints. Yeah,
I can't think of anything that besides nitpicking. There's no real complaint
I
on
mean,
my
Out-
end.
So outside of maybe availability, outside of
Availability.
availability,
I
but I
mean,
mean, it's gonna happen.
I
It's gonna
can't
happen.
even
I
say
like.
that.
I can just.
I can't say that because they just released right now. Valve just said everyone who has ordered one, you will get yours by the end of the year. They were having supply issues like the majority of the world, you know, with the semiconductor issues, you know. Whatever they did to fix it, right? Don't worry. All of the issues that you were worried about, don't worry about it. It's on the way. You ordered it, you're getting it before the year is out.
Yeah, I'm curious what the wait list is now. Then what it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking like. It's probably put out there a little bit. Um, but
I mean, one
how
of the
cool is
downsides,
that?
I guess, is if you buy it thinking you can play every single Steam game right now, you cannot. But it'll tell you it's clear in when you're about to play something or buy something
Yeah.
that it either works flawlessly with Steam Deck, it doesn't work at all with Steam Deck, or it has at least most functionality. And when you click on that little yellow alert, it'll tell you everything works except for maybe you have to use the touch screen instead of where you would use a mouse or whatever.
And I mean, with the docking capabilities of the Steam Deck,
Hmm.
you can just use a mouse, dock it to your TV, and use a mouse if you want.
Absolutely. You're right.
you know.
Mhm.
So like you
Yeah, you
can
could even just connect a mouse and keyboard to the Steam Deck and play.
Right.
There you
this
go.
this little guy right here, this is super cheap. And it's USB-C, and I've got 3 USB 3 inputs on it and a Ethernet port in case I need that for whatever reason, right? So I use this so that I could start transferring stuff to the Steam Deck. And then I remembered that I was a nerd, so I just hooked it all up to my network and then transferred it, from my network wirelessly to the Steam Deck. There's just so many different things that you can do with it. I mean, there's a bit of learning curve if you're a Windows or Mac guy because this is a Linux-based system, but it's nothing that had me like, stressed out of my mind because I couldn't get it. And there's enough information out there, and the Linux community is awesome. Hop on a Discord, ask a couple questions, they got you.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So what
Yeah,
have you been playing, Josh?
I mean,
Not this.
no, ow.
Or this.
I mean,
Oh.
that. Yeah, it just feels like the Switch killer, man. I mean,
Yeah.
for most of us, I mean, I guess if I was super Nintendo fanboy, you'd never get me off it.
Yeah.
We'll probably always have one in the house. I mean, there's nowhere to go after that, and I think that Steam Deck's like opening up their library is just going to be way more enticing in the long run. I know, like you're pretty set with your handheld already as a gaming device, but if you can play every game that you can on your PC eventually, or something close to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably will never be 100%. I mean, you got to just like preface that up front. Just
I got to
know
give
that it's
Nintendo props
Yeah.
though. Like none of us three are die-hard Nintendo only fans, right? We all like Nintendo. We all grew up
Yeah.
with it. Right?
Yeah, I'm not a Nintendo only, like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right
yeah.
though. That
People, but we all own a Switch still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo's smart with
Yeah.
whatever they're doing, but
I mean, they definitely, they play to their strength, and once you start playing within their realm, their ecosystem is great.
Yeah.
Like they're adding co-op to Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
Wow.
so good.
Like
That's
who
gonna
would
be
have
hugely
knew
popular.
though, right? Who even thought about
Yeah.
something like that?
That'd be
And
cool.
people are so amped about that, like no one's remembering the fact that there's no new like Nintendo IP to be excited about. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they are very smart in the way that they market to their strength, and their strength is their IPs. Right? It's not
Right.
third-party stuff. This is what we have to offer, and when you get it, you're gonna love it. One, because we say you're gonna love it, but because you're going to love it. We know to play to our strength. So
And well, Sega has Sonic, and I don't know,
Sonic.
Xbox has Master Chief or something, but Nintendo has stinking Mario, dude. Like Mario is like Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's literally a Nintendo land.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's 100%. It's like Mickey Mouse. And it's not just Mario. It's Zelda. To a lesser extent, it's Kirby. You know what I'm saying? They understand how to like really nurture their in-house IPs. And they've only faltered a few times on those specifics, right? The Zeldas that went to the CDI that were just absolutely horrible. And maybe like Mario's missing like a couple, and there's people who like that game, but they play to their strength. They play to their strength.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't know. You guys might be Halo guys. I'm not. I don't know if you can say that Xbox really played to its strengths on their IPs the way that Nintendo did.
I would say no. I think they have their characters, and they bought those characters off of companies, though. They didn't create those characters.
Yeah, I would say Xbox is just more just about their platform.
Yeah.
It's not as much, like you said, nurturing said characters or individual IPs with Mario and things that Nintendo has. Xbox was more just like,
I mean, they bought Master Chief from Bungie.
Yeah,
They
we're
bought-
gonna keep we're gonna keep putting into the
Yeah.
console machinery and the and the stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
where they did it, and then they let
Okay.
dev teams and studios do their thing from there.
I mean,
It
that's not a
didn't seem
bad approach, though, right? Like,
no,
we're
it's
gonna
it's
provide
it's
the
quite
hardware.
opposite. Yeah, quite opposite of what Nintendo. Nintendo's like, no, we do everything, and everything's under our umbrella. They
Right.
don't really, I mean,
A-
how
And
many?
PlayStation does it a little differently too than
Mhm,
both of those. I think they all
Mm.
just are trying to play to their strength. Like I think Xbox's strength has always been Xbox Live. Once that came out, it was ahead of its time.
Yep.
And then as in the console world, not in the
Mm.
PC, they've always had that, but in the console world, it was ahead of its time, and I feel like it's still really up there with the, just good. I don't know how to explain that.
Well, I remember when Xbox Live came out. I only got it because I got Gears of War
Hmm.
and Lost Planet. I got those two games and I got them on the PC. And I bought them for the PC and I couldn't play with people that were on
Mm,
Xbox. And I had like, it was a weird service that you had to get. And I'm like, oh, what? I'm such a PC gamer. Why am I paying anything else to play online? I don't have to do that with anything. Right. So it was really
true.
weird for me. And I was a big PlayStation guy. I mean, I still am. And PlayStation at the time, it was free to play online. So for
Yep.
us PlayStation
Yep.
guys, are like, you guys have to pay? Haha,
Hey, you know what?
losers.
I was right there with you.
Yeah.
Just like I didn't buy a Xbox for the longest
Yeah.
time. I was like, no, PlayStation's where it's
That's
at.
where it's
You get
at,
a
man.
controller. It's free
Mm.
online gaming.
Yep.
Ha ha ha! You have to spend
Yeah.
$50 a year. What are you doing? I was like, I don't want
Literally
to
the
buy an
same
extra
thing.
game. I don't want to buy an extra game just to play on.
And then
Yep.
PS3 came out and was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. They were like, hey, by the way, we want some of that sweet, sweet Xbox money. Okay.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, no, on second thought.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that I remember the day when that changed. It sucked.
And
That
how
sucked.
odd is it now that Xbox is free? Xbox is Live. They don't call it that anymore, but it's free now.
I didn't know
Like
that.
you can hop on like any of the free to play games like Apex, Fortnite, Halo, whatever. You can get on there and not pay.
What am I doing with my life?
Well, they
I
just
don't
changed it not that long ago.
have I
Okay.
not
Life's good.
have I not checked my bank account that often? I don't see like the gold membership renewed. Like,
Uh-oh.
or is that still a thing? I don't know.
I
Are we
think
talking
they
about two different
still
things?
have a gold. They have
I need
they
to
have a
cancel
regular
that. I don't play
subscription.
on
I
Xbox
don't know.
anymore.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen? We're going to get done with this recording. Josh is going to cancel Xbox. He's canceling Netflix and Hulu. He's done.
That's it.
He's
Nintendo
done.
Switch out the window.
Yeah,
Be able to pay
exactly.
for the Steam Deck off of
Right.
eBay right now.
There you
Okay.
go.
This guy, he's going to put an antenna on his house. Old school, right?
Well, I'm not in a rush to get a Steam Deck because the games I play and currently play, and my main Destiny, is not on it yet. And then the new one I'm absolutely addicted to is Dinkum. So Dinkum is like a solo person or a solo person. That's
Just the name
a
alone, you have us
yeah,
intrigued.
I am.
Dinkum. So basically,
Adult
the
only.
And it's
quickest
kind of
way
scared too.
Mm-hmm.
I know the quickest way I can describe it is an Australian Animal Crossing, and that's kind of the way it is. One guy made this game.
Wow.
So the story behind it is that he loved Animal Crossing, played the crap out of it, and then, but always wanted kind of more. And he wanted to be able to play it through Steam, through on the PC as well. So being locked in as like true Nintendo are, you'll never play it anywhere else. Be able to. They don't do multi-platform releases with the Nintendo games.
No.
It's just that's it. So
Yeah.
which is fine. That's cool. You know what you're getting. So anyway, so this guy he made it, and it's amazing. It's basically Animal Crossing. It's kind of
You better stop saying that. We're gonna get flagged.
Not even trying to like hide it at all. Like the character like animations, the chat of the characters, like when they're talking, and it's just the text chat bubbles, and they're going. It's like the same thing as Animal Crossing. It's so funny. I've enjoyed it because it's a little slower. I don't play a lot of games like that to where I can just kind of turn half the brain off.
Mm.
It's really, you know, kind of crafty. You have people move into your village, but the map, I feel like the map is way bigger than it is on Animal Crossing. You can do multiplayer. You can visit each other's maps or towns.
Just gonna ask
Whatever.
you that if it was multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
you can. Um, there's also like a progression system within it. Like each, you know, foraging, logging, all have different levels.
No.
So that's something like Animal Crossing really didn't have. It was just like, you know, catch the bugs and fill your book, and you're kind of, and then rearrange your town. Um, I know some Animal Crossing people might hate on me. That sounds a little lame, but
Yeah, I didn't say it, by the way.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's that many Animal Crossers in our
In our ecosystem?
here. Yeah.
Well, I've
Maybe.
been hearing about Animal Crossing, especially after COVID, you know, during that pandemic, it was hugely popular,
Right.
part 2 or
Oh,
whatever it was. And
yeah.
I just don't play the Switch enough to really to have spent the money on it. Plus
Mhm.
those games like never go on sale on Nintendo.
Right.
So,
Mm,
I'm
that's
looking at
true.
this one right now. Let me give you a little information because I'm looking at Steam right now.
Under
Overwhelmingly
$20.
positive reviews, 95% positive.
No. Wow.
And that's looking at like over 4,000 reviews. Yeah, it
Wow.
has the single player, the online co-op,
Mhm.
partial controller support.
Yep.
The game looks great. It's 19.99 right now on
Yep.
Steam, and that's not
Under
even on
$20.
sale.
Yeah. So
We are
it's
not
and it's
sponsored, by the way.
yeah. It's early release as well.
Okay.
So there's all that.
Mm.
Yeah, just like it has just that touch more depth that, you know, maybe some of the Animal Crossers wanted, you know.
Let me ask you something, since something you just brought up there is intriguing me. Do early access games scare you off?
No.
Me, no.
No, dude, I have played so many like $10, $15. Look, they're not all going to be bangers,
No.
right? They're not,
No.
you know, very, very few of them actually are going to,
Right.
you know, and that's okay. But for me to be able to play and support kind of that indie dev,
Right.
you know,
Right.
uh, not that like that sense of community makes me feel good, but
But
they
it
can put
does,
out
though.
some pretty cool,
Yeah.
yeah, they can put out some pretty cool games. And honestly, like I'm more likely to buy like $20, $15 games
Right.
than I am to go buy two, you know, full price $60 games right. You know, and
Yeah, that's
that's
true.
more, you know, do the quick math. Obviously, I just spent more with all the indie games.
Right.
And I've gotten a lot more out of some of those $10, $15 or it was just call it under $20 bracket games.
Right.
For sure. I've loved there's like a baseball game I play that's kind of like that as well. That was, you know, only when the first version came out, it was only like $25.
Mm.
And I bought that. And then they ended up making another one and a third one. So that was pretty cool. So I followed that series. They got a little more popular.
Oh, yeah. All right.
But
People are
that
they're
was
starting to feel
cool
themselves
because
a little bit.
yeah, like, you know, the content came with it. So
Right. No,
all for it.
that I think that's awesome, man. And I personally, I definitely have supported some games where, you know, I don't get shocked by the trailer, right? I call it being getting divisioned or getting anthemed, right? Like I don't.
Anthem. Ooh, Jake. Ooh,
Yeah,
hits the
yeah,
stone.
that's right. And I hope that's
You know,
stung.
like you need to cut to that member. The lady's like falls off the thing.
Right.
It's like
That doesn't really get me. But yeah, I do like to support good work, right? And if you're trying to do something that's original and outside of the box, larger companies are like, right, but you know, have you seen this sandbox game? Right? Can you do this? And indie developers are indie for a reason. So I definitely like to support them. But like I think this game is called School Days. Pretty sure that's what it's called. It looked amazing. There's no players anymore, right? Um, Lunch Lady, that's another one on Steam. There was early access, you know, where you're hiding from this like maniacal lunch lady, and it's all kind of like it looked really cool. There's no one playing it anymore.
Yeah,
I only spent maybe on both of them total $27, you know.
love that.
Right, and I feel better about that. And I know a lot of people love this game. I've talked about it before. I got it the day it came out and was sorely disappointed in it. And got my refund from Steam right away. Resident Evil 8. And I got the deluxe edition that ended up being like $68 or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I'm immediately like, got it, downloaded it, ready to play. Got an hour and a half in. I'm like, I hate everything about this. I don't like anything about this. These first person mechanics, they worked in 7. They don't feel good in 8. I don't like this at all. All right.
This is Village.
Village, yeah.
Village. I haven't tried that one yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, try it out. You might love it. A
I
lot of
liked
people
the
do.
last one. 7 was awesome.
And
Biohazard.
I love the remake of Resident Evil 1,
Okay.
Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 2 is definitely one of my favorite remakes of all time. Talking about putting a new coat of paint, but also polishing everything else around the car, right? Like they've done such a great job with that. When I moved to 8, it was just like, this just doesn't feel good at all,
Okay.
So, but again, your miles may vary. So
Yeah.
it's just saying, indies, like, I definitely will support you. But I will say this, do your research. There's a lot of
Yeah.
indie companies will drop a new game and you're like, oh, that looks amazing. You do a bit of research into that company, you're like, oh, they've abandoned 7 games in the last 2 years.
Mm.
So are you in it for the cash grab? Because I don't want to be a part of that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you, and you said something that stuck out to me about getting a refund on Steam because you didn't like it. And I would venture to say these games that are, under $20, people are just like, I don't know how many people are really refunding those.
Probably,
Even
yeah.
just because they're so cheap, it's like, they're like, maybe I'll chip away better. And I don't know. I don't know if Steam has protection against early release games or anything like that. I would assume not. I think you can refund anything as far as I know. So
I think you can do anything as long as they count the logged hours that you've played in it.
yeah.
If you
You
get
can't
it
eat the whole steak and send it back.
exactly,
Yeah, I
be
don't-
like,
I don't
this
know what the
bone
threshold
sucks.
is, but
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't let you do that, but I think you're right
Yeah.
though. It's kind of like the Amazon game, right? Where you're like, yeah, I do think I want to order some skinny jeans for some reason off of Amazon, and I'm gonna get 7 pair for $2 from China, right? And then they come in, and you're like, I'm not that size, but I'm not gonna send them back, right? It's
Yeah,
too
just
much of a
donate
hassle to
'em or
send it
something.
back,
Yeah, I'll just donate them or something. Or,
right? Right, or I'll just wear them in the house only.
I'll just figure it out.
Only at home. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about that. I doubt a lot of people are going through it, and it's not even a hassle. Like Steam doesn't make it a whole thing. It's
No, it's
like,
pretty simple.
right,
It's a
click
couple
here.
clicks.
What's the
Yeah.
problem? This didn't work, or this didn't play up to what I thought. Wait for your refund in 2 days. Oh, look at that.
Is there a game on Steamdeck, Jason? Since we're still on this, I think this episode's pretty much about Steam.
I
Which
feel like
is
it's
cool.
about Steam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that,
We've
guys.
been just spending a lot of time lately on Steam, all 3 of us.
Yeah.
What have you played on the Steam Deck that has been your best time so far?
So I've played all 3 of the Castlevania third person games. They were originally released on PC and PS3, I believe. I don't think they're exclusive to PlayStation. They may be on the Xbox as well. I've been really enjoying those. I actually played Project Zomboid on here. I wanted to see if you could, because I play it on the PC with my my nephews, and I'm amazed that you were able to transfer that to this Steam Deck and have it work well. Okay, now notoriously, I'm a guy who, in any game on the PC, I know what I need to survive in a game, so I'll lay my key layout that way, right? And I know this is weird. I take my keyboard and I move it all the way to the left, and I rest my hand on the arrow keys and a couple buttons on the far right, and then I just use my mouse. I don't use anything else over there, right? So I'm not a WASD guy at all. So arrow keys.
Nick
Having
has no idea what you're talking about.
I got you.
Hey, you know what?
I'm still keeping
Any
up.
PC listeners are like, "Oh, this guy's crazy." So, but yeah,
It is weird.
it's weird, right? It's
I
weird.
don't MNK too often. at all, but if I do, I need spacebar to jump and things like that. So that's kind of weird to me.
Oh yeah, like I use, and
Mm.
this is in every single first person shooter that I play. I use the right control for crouch. I use right shift for jump. Enter is entering vehicles, exiting doors, whatever. Backspace is always binoculars, grenades, or flashlight. And I have a gaming mouse which has like 90 buttons on it. So
Yeah,
I,
that's convenient.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes a
so
big difference.
that's it.
Mine has 3.
Yeah. See? And then I use the 0 key on the number side. That's always my melee. There you go. I don't need anything else. And if I do, I'm co-oping with someone like, no, you drive.
No, yeah, I don't have enough buttons over here.
Yeah, right.
You gotta
Hey,
drive.
no, I do have the buttons. I don't want to use them. They're so far over there, right? You don't understand. I moved my keyboard over. Come on, bro.
It's
So
it's like, okay, guys, let's go get in the car. It gets in the back seat.
yeah, you're
What are you guys
driving.
doing?
You're driving me, buddy. I've gotten old, so I'm like, I don't want to drive. I got cataracts and everything. So, but yeah, I've definitely enjoyed those Castlevania games. Play so well on there. They look absolutely amazing. And being a Castlevania guy, everyone knows that by now if you've been following the podcast, which hopefully you have. I love to see where the story is going. And I have an Xbox emulator on my Steam Deck. So I've been playing the third-person Ninja Gaiden. I think it might be Sigma. I have not enjoyed that because I remember now how hard the Ninja Gaiden games were, period. But definitely when they went to third person, it's like, what is this? It's like Souls Ninja Gaiden. That's what it's like. So, but yeah, I've everything I've played on there, I've absolutely loved it.
Right on.
Yeah.
And you're
just real quick for anyone that's watching. I know you're looking at Josh's camera view and you're like, man, he is so tanned. He's not. That's me. I'm the tan one. He is. We are having monsoon season here in Vegas, so it's just a little dark over there by it.
Apologize for my lighting issues.
No.
Yeah, my light.
Maybe you were abducted or something.
I know my light came crashing down the other day. I got a new desk. The monitor mounts and all that. Have a little more room and
Yeah,
the light came down in transition.
Like these three are my brothers, but you literally look like a brother of mine right now. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But please go ahead though.
What?
Or don't.
All right. I don't know what happened.
I think you were talking. No, not you, because you don't have the Steam Deck. What have you been playing on your deck that you've been enjoying the most, Josh? Or not Josh, Jacob?
Wow.
Oh, so I've definitely been Josh.
Yeah, not you.
Josh is just sitting.
I mean, I might as well just all right. I'm out.
All right. Well,
head out.
I've been really enjoying that Horizon Zero Dawn. I like the mechanics of it, and like I said, I've never gotten to try it before. So it's really cool how these animal type robots out in the plains, you can like knock off their armor pieces and stick them with a giant spear or hit them with a bow and arrow and take out their eyes or whatever. I've really enjoyed the combat. I figure, you know what? It's a game I hop on every now and then, and I'm just doing all the side quests, all the main quests. So I'm working on that. It's beautiful. Really like it. Like crazy beautiful on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I'm like shocked every time it goes to a cutscene. I'm like, whoa.
Nice.
The other game I'm playing is a tower defense game. I don't know if you guys like those. I really enjoy tower defense games, and it's called Defense Grid 2. It's one of the best tower defense games I've played. It's just building towers to stop aliens from coming and getting your like AI cores out, before they can escape. But I plan on I plan on purchasing Planet Zomboid because you told me about that. Sounds very cool. God of War. I'm waiting for that one to go on sale.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Dinkum. I'm still watching this video, man. Josh got me into Dinkum. I'm gonna end up buying this game. Man.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it gets available soon at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the controller support is why it's saying it's not working. So if the developer, singular, the
developer, right?
To me, it's just crazy because how much is in the game. He must have I don't know if it says it on the Steam profile how long it took him to, but really cool. He also has like a Discord with like an open forum Discord. Like, hey,
Oh,
you
hey, I
know,
could get on there and be like, hey, man,
people are asking for
That's what I was thinking.
suggestions and all kinds of different things
Steamdeck.
that may get into the game. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
cool.
when you're talking about these indie games that only have a couple, that's also you communicate now in Discords and Reddits and other forums like that. It's you can literally have your hand on the pulse of the community that's playing your game, and get that feedback. I mean, you're gonna have to filter out some of the toxic be there, but to have like the people that are playing it day in and day out are putting set hours into it each week and give you good feedback, and I mean that's how you keep your player base, right?
Right.
Keep, for longevity, and then be able to make number 2, do DLCs or seasonal content, whatever. So
I agree with that,
true.
man. Like big
so
developers, you can interact with them on Twitter, and normally they've had like 30 days of someone saying you suck and I hate your mom, right? And then they respond to you with like, I don't like you guys anyway. Game's gonna get shut down in a month. I hate you, right? Because they're at such a level that they're getting bombarded. But you're right, indie guys who have their own Discord, they are so. I mean, I'm not saying that they're personable, but it's such a it's a more organic conversation that they're having with people because they actually do get to interact with you, and you're right. There's always the toxicity, but that's everywhere.
Yeah. I think you're talking about like Call of Duty, for instance. They're just like,
right.
Here's a new season.
Yeah. And you know what? You're gonna buy it because you have to now.
Everybody's gonna buy it.
Yeah, you have to.
They're just like, oh, this gun is broken. That thing is broken. This is broken. They're like, cool. Well, we got this new thing.
Right. Hey, are you guys gonna fix that? Yeah, we're gonna fix it in the brand new game that's releasing in a month. You're like, oh,
they're so not
my
fixing
God.
it.
Hey, did you guys nerf that with the last? Yeah, sure, whatever. Hey, we got a new game coming out though pretty soon.
Yeah, it's Modern Warfare 2 again.
Right.
Again.
That is very true. That's very true.
Who's worse about the re-releasing it? Like Activision, Battle.net, or Nintendo?
So I think it's different. I think that Nintendo re-releases because they're like the Disney Vault, right? Where they're like, hey, remember that one game? And you're like, I do. I was 7, right? So yeah, I want it.
Yeah.
Activision is like, hey, remember that one game from last year? And you're like, yeah. All right, yeah, we're re-releasing.
Remastered.
Right.
We're gonna re-release the remastered.
And you're like, all right, I mean, I guess I'll pick it up. How much is it? Full price. Oh.
Yeah, $60. Or you can get the deluxe for $80.
Right.
Yeah.
That has these 2 skins and a mask.
That's the difference right there. And I'm not even giving Nintendo a pass on that because I think they do it too much sometimes. But again, if they're re-releasing something, it's something that, they've cultivated such a following. Like we literally grew up on their characters. Yeah. Right. And even though like my daughter, she's not like a big Mario or Zelda or whatever, she knows all those characters. She grew up with them, Yeah. So no one has grown up with Call of Duty and have the same affinity for it. And if they do, they're like, hey, remember zombies?
Every Call of Duty game, and I do not know a single character's name in that game.
That's what I'm saying.
I know that there was the one where the bad guy was that like sexual harasser guy. What was it? What was the bad guy in real life? The actor, he got in trouble and he's not in a.
Oh, there's been a few of those over the last few years.
Probably.
Yeah, there was a whole movement. I don't know if you know
Kevin
this.
Spacey or something like that?
Yeah, Spacey. He seems to.
Wasn't it Spacey?
Yeah, House of Cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the bad guy in one of those.
Bad guy in real life, apparently. I mean, I don't know. These are allegations. I'm just saying. Per the allegations, it sounds pretty rough. Pretty rough, man.
That's a good point, though. That some of these series just don't have polarizing characters. It's just the game series. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a whole podcast on like what video game character to you, not characters. You'd have to pick one, right?
Okay.
What character has such a polarizing presence to you? His story, the entirety of his lore, his or her lore, that when that character is brought up, you're like, ooh, Oh, they got a new game coming out. I'm on it.
There's a few easy ones, and I bet you there's some really good ones that we're not thinking, like that don't come to the top of your head.
Yeah, I've got a couple off top, but that'd be one. We got to do one like that because
We're gonna mark that down.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one, man.
I would say almost like you can't pick Nintendo because
too easy. Yeah, it's like a cheap shot.
Nintendo because you got. I mean, there's 6, 7 Nintendo characters that have gone on since the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be just too easy.
I mean,
can't be Link, can't be Mario.
Well, then I don't want to do it.
Yeah, you
I'm out.
Taking some out.
I'm tired of your rules. Okay.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I think we should do one of those though, man. I think that'd be cool.
There we go. Add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
Oh, what?
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. I appreciate we're all here.
We're all here.
Yeah. So much better.
Yeah.
So much fun, guys.
It
so
is.
Much fun.
Do you think we can all get together for one more? Like at least one more?
I think so.
Josh is like disappearing, I think.
I might be.
We just hear his voice.
Literally, you're literally
I'm
looking at you.
It's crazy, right? It's you should see it when this is edited. Like, it's crazy.
Go.
Like, bro, I didn't know he could teleport. It's awesome. Lord Raiden. Yeah, man, we gotta all get back together. This is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
All right. We'll see you guys. We're out.